Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Thank you for joining me once again. It is another social production. Glad you made it. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every week on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally support this show. We are here every week moving forward. Wednesdays, Fridays. Pass it around like hotcakes. Infused with all the good. Whatever your good is. THC, CBD, psilocybin, all of the above mixed together with a pinch of white wine or red wine. Just a nice kombucha of your favorites. How are you, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's anywhere in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, over there, West Coast, Vancouver, BC, somewhere in the middle, Saskatchewan, Regina, Alberta, Northwest Territories, Yukon, over there in Quebec. Hello to my Quebecois, the Montreal, the Putin, eating the fucking beaver tail chasing, maple syrup slurping sons and daughters of bitches. Shout out to everybody here in Canada if you're holding it down. It's starting to get a little bit chilly willy out there. I see you out there with the parkas and the jackets. What's up? We're going. And further down south in the United States, all 50 states. Further down south than that, in Mexico. Hola muchachos, gracias amigos, mi amore. Cinco de Mayo, all the above. Further down south in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Nicaragua, over there in Africa, Chad, DRC, Algeria, fucking everywhere, and over there in Europe, Italy, Spain, France, Finland, Switzerland, where all the mountainous regions of the world are just like, oh, we're going to just collectively just come together and we're going to make the Swiss Alps. We're going to just, the earth is going to ooze out. There's going to be volcanoes erupting, hundred millions of years ago, volcanoes erupting, forming mountains, whatever, dude. Highest points on planet Earth, lowest points on planet Earth, beneath the depths of the ocean. Beneath the depths of the ocean, you drill deep, and then what? There's another lake or another ocean underneath the ocean. If you're tuning in from underneath the ocean, hello. Middle East, Lebanon, Israel, Gaza. Is it Gaza or Gaza? Gaza, Israel, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Bangkok, New Zealand, Australia, Caribbean Islands, North Pole, South Pole, East Pole, West Pole, everywhere, all around the globe essentially. If you're joining me for the first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me from the get-go, thank you for all the love and support, sending it right back at you. It is Friday. It's an extra loose Friday. As per usual, we're going to have fun, talk about different stuff, and that's what we do around here. Just a fellow with his fellow gang members, with his fellow syndicate members. And in this syndicate, in this global international conglomerate, we are all equal, sitting around a metaphorical circular table. There are no tables, there are no chairs, but if we were to get together, sometimes we do get together. Hopefully in the future, more so in person but nonetheless. We get together and then somebody's on stage, other people are seated comfortably. What? Everybody out there coming together to make magic happen. That's what we do around here. Hope you're all doing well. It is Friday. Let's kick it off. I ran into a fella as of late, and I think this is potentially relatable to a lot of people out there, and I thought maybe we could talk together. Maybe you guys and gals can come up with some ideas as how you deal with a particular situation which I'm about to describe, and this will not only help this beautiful gentleman out there in the world doing it, and also similar people to him. And you'll find that once we scratch and peel the layers of the human onion beneath the layers of human onion, there are other layers. And as soon as you start peeling, you'll notice tears coming out your tear ducts, sweat, forming on your forehead, your ass cheeks getting wet ass cheeks. You're chopping, you're dicing, and you're trying to get to know yourself and the onion that is you. And what am I trying to get to, ladies and gents? The point is that I ran into a fella, and he was extreme. It was the first time he was going to be going in for the office presentation. For a long time now, he's been accustomed to doing at-home work, or work from home. WH, as they call work. WH is it's what it's being referred to as on the streets. I do the WH, work from home. So he had to go into the office, and it was his first presentation in a really long time. He was kind of nervous, and I was just like thinking about ways of, letting this gentleman know that it's okay. We're all in this together, brother. Are you gonna get through this, my mans? And there are different methods of dealing with it. What did this gentleman do? Where were we? Doesn't matter. Close in contact, I'll say that. He let me know it was his presentation day and that he hadn't had a chance to go and meet people in a long time. I assume it had something to do with Schmovid, the pandy schmandy, that, transitioned some people from like, office, maybe you can do half season in the office, half season at home. And a lot of people just decided to stay at home for whatever reason. If it works out, I'm not telling you how to live your life or whatever. I'm just saying some people out there might be having trouble or a difficult time rather, going into the office after being so accustomed to sitting behind a desk, doing Zoom-ins, being half naked, because if you're Zooming, everybody knows you can be half naked. I could be half naked right now, dude. I could be half naked right now. You would not. Sure, I'm not half naked right now. From the bottom half also covered. But if I wanted to, I have that luxury. And I know you two have been kind of spoiled in a sense of like, man, I could just be fucking free balling it or just free badging it. And then from belly up, I could be covered and there wouldn't be any, discrepancies as to whether or not I'm clothed or not. How would they know? Unless you get up and go to the bathroom midway through the meeting and you're like, oh man, I totally forgot my pants. And you're like, man, this bush has not been trimmed in several months. And whatever, dude, lady, you're walking there and for whatever reason, snail trail, leaving it behind as you're walking out of the meeting to excuse yourself to go to the bathroom, snail trail. Why? No pantaloons, that's why. But that's the future. This is the now, so we're getting used to it. But this beautiful gentleman was nervous, so he let me know that he was nervous, and he's like, do you mind if I just start singing a little bit? I'm like, not at all, please go ahead. I enjoy singing myself. Sing a song, get all your anxieties out. Sing along. Belt out of tune if you're about to go in and do a big presentation and your wife's depending on the paychecks, cause now she's really full-blown pregnant now. She's got a baby in the oven cause you didn't pull out jizz in the vag and the baby's coming fast, dude. Gotta make the moolah, the cheddar, the cheese, and the, oh man, responsibilities of a new dad. All the pressure is building up, sweat's dripping down your forehead. I hope it goes well for you, son. Singing tunes, you know what I mean? So like, helps you if you're going into a prezi and you're like, man, I just gotta like get something out before I go into the you do that. But I thought about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, man, you do that. And I didn't know the song that he was singing to, because if he sang a song that I knew and we could have fucking sang together, had a duet, that's when two dudes duet together. Whatever it is, takes two, and you do it. But the point is, he sang a song that I wasn't familiar with, so that I had to just like, be like, hell yeah, dude, fucking, right there, let's go. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, how do you relieve yourself of your nerves of your, if you're going into the office. It's been I know this is fucking related. You're like, how did you know, man? This is so relatable. Because I'm out there, dude. I got my ears to the fucking floor, to the pavement, to the cement. Remember cement, by the way. I got a story about cement later on. We got to touch base on that bad boy. But for the meantime, let's help this fellow or lady potentially who's not had a chance to go into the office. Okay, if you're nervous, you've not been into the office, it's been a long time since you've done a Prezi in person. How do you approach this so that you can master the anxiety, master the angst of like, oh man, there's going to be pupils, there's going to be humans with eyeballs staring at me, and there's a lot riding on this presentation. You could go in there and there's different ways. If you've not seen a few of them, it's always good to, it's always here. Find some people who you do know, familiar faces. Start making just light conversation, just light breezy conversation. You see Jim, great. Jim's a familiar face. You get with Jim as soon as you arrive at the main floor of the office building. Maybe you'd have to climb the stairs or take an elevator for the Prezi, because the Prezi's with the upper ups and the upper fucking floors of the office, dude. That's where the cash moves. That's where the big heads are. That's where the deals get done. That's where Prezis are done. That's where laser pointers are fucking pointed at. That's where cushy chairs are sliding in and out of seats, and like, you know, behind the desk, sliding in and out behind the desk, in front of the desk. That's where there's, you know, there's probably a room where you do presentations. Maybe there's a little fucking, you can like pull something and it'll like, you know, you can do a presentation. There's a screen you could pull down. Maybe that's the kind of vibe. I don't know your office, but regardless, you see Jim and you start chatting it up with you. Jim, how's it going? How's work? Oh man, yeah, I'm pregnant. My wife's pregnant. Whole lot of this, that, and the other. It's been great working at this company. You start getting, you know, you start like, oh, okay, we're familiarizing ourselves once again with the atmosphere. But then you just start like whatever comes to your head, just, you know, just to make the bond between you and Jim get a little bit stronger. Go into conversations such as, man, it's crazy how you and I, or like people like us, Jim, you know, we work our butts off and then we do these giant presentations, and then these the guys and gals in the higher upper management get all the credit and get the bonuses and the paychecks and the pools and the heated pools within the pools, and the cold pool within the heated pool, and then the pool with the heated pool inside the cold pool with the pool guy and the pool gal and the pool fucking, you know, you got a special pool boy, special pool gal, maybe they're albino, that, you know, the fucking like, oh, the best of the pool boys and pool gals. You never hear about that shit. That's for like, you know, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. Point is, you make conversation, but then you're like, yeah, man, most of these guys and gals only got their position just because, like, man, knew an uncle, knew a dad, had a dad. Fucking people with dads, uncles, you know, and just whatever, dude. And Jim's like just nodding along and everything. That could be one strategy until you like you go into the meeting and then you notice Jim is taking his seat right next to the upper management. It's been a long time since you've been out of the office, have not had the chance to present or even intermingle with co-workers. Jim's been promoted. Who knew? He had a well-connected uncle at the firm. And yeah, maybe don't talk shit about upper management. Maybe that's, unless you're sure that Jim's not connects, unless you're sure that Jim's got like, you know, he's just one of us, dude. He's one of us. You, me, Jim, Sally, Lucy, fucking Malcolm over there. Everybody's just fucking, you know, Kevin's been grinding with coming in, you know, with the good ideas. Sure, he might not, you know, whatever. He has his dip, but like Kevin's right there with you in the trenches. So like, do that. Another potential thing that you could do is start, like, once you go into the office, start giving everybody like, you know, really personal compliments that are heartfelt, that are, you know, right there on the, let them know what you like, you know, you see, oh, Mike, so good to see you. Man, the way those quads are filling out those pants, your bulge, Mike, my goodness, I've not seen a bulge like that in over 6 months. The way I can see both your nuts. Most often on a good bulge, you'll only see one nut, but Mikey boy, I can tell you, I can see both nuts. Your shaft slightly to the left, with a curve, might I add, brings out the color of your eyes. Looking good, Mikey boy. Over there, who's sitting behind the leather chair. That's Nance over there. Nancy, like those tits, baby. Did you get a boob job? Let her know. If she's got a boob job, let her know, because it's been 6 months. Nancy had a promotion, college fund for the kids, or boob job. Guess what? There are no kids. Nancy's never been married. Nancy's fucking rocking and rolling with her new tits, dude. So let her know. Beautiful, fantastic, Nancy. Good on you for the new tits. Big fan. Cleavage game, killing it, Nance. So let them know. That's another way of doing it. But what are some ways that you guys and gals out there think that is appropriate in terms of dealing with anxiety if you're about to give a presentation? If you're a fan of singing, I do endorse that. If you're a fan of hard compliments, I do endorse that. If you're a fan of talking shit behind anybody or anything just to get a little bit of like whatever it is out before doing a positive prezi, do it. I'm all for it. But that's just, that's neither here or there. And it is Friday. Sip sip to the gang. Thank you for joining me. Lots of great things are happening in and around the world. I have been thinking as of late, like many of you guys and gals out there, what is the world missing? What could we add to our experience as a collective? And it just like, some call it, epiphany, some call it, ideas, some call it just like, what is that? Some call it just, we're having a moment together, and we're feeling the vibes, and we're just collectively coming together and just saying what's on everybody's mind. And I looked around and saw that there are not enough door-to-door honeybee sales people out there distributing honeybees door-to-door. And I thought to myself, what kind of world are we living in? It's 2023. We are going into 2024. Why have not we seen more door-to-door honeybee salespeople? Could it possibly be potentially due to the fact that a few people are a little bit allergic to honeys and bees? Could it be that perhaps somebody's, ruining it for the rest of us? Is that why we're not seeing? Because, man, I've not lived that long on this planet, but I would assume that there must have been a time where there was door-to-door honeybee sales people, where they would just go to your home, knock on your door, and with their with their beehive just on their face or on their shoulder, just be like, oh, would you like 3 ounces of honey? Would you like to purchase? Would you like to take a beehive for the family of one beehive? Got a large family, got a whole bunch. I got a beehive set. And just buzzing around, and he's used to it. He might be getting stung right there in front of you. He's just getting, he's used to it. And you could see that there is potential there for you to also enjoy the benefits of natural honey whilst adding to the ecosystem, simultaneously protecting one of our most beloved animals in Mother Nature's little animal dispensary. For our pleasure, for your use and pleasure, and it's nice to have that around. Get the kids acclimated with them. A lot of times you're like, oh, what if I have a young newborn? Is it safe for my newborn to play with the bees? If it's safe enough for your newborn to play with a dog or a cat or a small pet lizard, I see no reason as to why we would deduce that it is potentially hazardous for your child or your newborn to intermingle with a beehive. They're practically the same size. The beehive and the baby are practically the same size. It's as if they were meant for each other. And one baby is practically the same size as, I would assume, 5,000 bees. So one baby could easily take on 5,000 bees, just in terms of like, if we're exchanging size per they're a little bit restricted with their movement. They can only do figure eights. They can, they can communicate on whatever, who knows. But baby can fucking roll. Baby can, if they're getting a little bit too close, roll, kill a few. You don't want to kill any, then tell your baby to toughen up if he's getting stung or she's getting stung. And that way, you're protecting the bees, you're getting free honey, your kids got a new pet from an early age. A lot of times parents are like, man, when is the right age to introduce my baby to a pet? Smart to start small. You know what I mean? Don't go for like, let me get my baby a pet shark. Too big, too soon, too much. Start small. Bees, let them get stung and those are life lessons that they early, just embedded in the brain. Mommy and daddy's gonna be in the living room. Mommy and daddy's gonna be away one day. You're gonna get stung. Learn, and also there's food right there, dude. Free fucking honey. Make good use of everything. That's all I'm trying to say, boys and girls, ladies and gents. It's Friday. What is going on in and around the world? I don't know much about anything, as I've always said. I'm just a fella, human being, trying to be a human or whatever, learning and growing. But I do like to sometimes just, if we can for a moment, remember the ones that may have been forgotten, or remember the ones that potentially never got the recognition that they, who am I talking about? Salvador Deli. Salvador Deli is who I wanted to talk to you guys about. A lot of you guys might have heard about Salvador Dali, but Salvador Deli, were they related? I'm not quite sure. I didn't read too much about him. But also another great Salvador, his specialty, of course, was cold cuts and working with deli, with meats. It wasn't so much the particular type of meat that Deli used. It was rather Salvador's cuts that really drew you in and made you attracted to the product, some call it art, some call it was just him and a lifestyle. Of course, he was, and that's the thing. It starts off with like, one guy just like taking his craft to the next level, slicing extremely thin to the point where you put it in your mouth and it does melt away and you're like, what just happened? That's magic, is what that is. And Salvador Deli always, got one up by Dolly. I say, if you put that piece of meat in your mouth and it just starts to melt away and you're like, man, this is surreal. Who started it? Sure, Dolly with the mustache got all the attention. Deli catered to the people. It's almost forgotten, but I'd like to, if you say a name, it does come up, so it's remembered that way. I just like to, and some of you guys are like, man, how do you know Salvador Deli? Fucking, if you know, dude. If you don't, check it out. But also, it might just be myth. It might just be legend. So why don't you just let it be and just be chill. Don't be Googling that shit, because you might not find anything unless there is a Salvador Deli out there, which there is. And hence began the legend of Salvador Deli, serving the best cold cuts in the Lower East Side. I don't even know what the Lower East Side is. I just like saying it because it sounds nice. Where are you at? I'm in the Lower East Side. Do all towns and cities have Lower East Sides? I bet they do. I think we do. Yeah, dude, I'm in the Lower East Side. Where? Of the city. Where you at? Upper West? We out here holding down in the Lower East Side while you be playing in the Upper West. Now, I've gone and spilt a little bit more coffee because you're like, man, is this going to be incorporated into all the podcasts? Is coffee spillage a thing? Is that your thing? You think I'm some sort of coffee spilling stuff? You fucking no, I will not be spilling coffee all over the place in all the podcasts. Sure, sometimes this is a new mug, I should say. This is why I had the old mug. If you've been with me this is why I had that plastic mug, which is probably not good for my taint, having the same plastic mug, not come to think of it. But it had a lid, which prevented the spillage. But now, once again, you'll have to excuse me for about half a second. Please take this time to go ahead and, is your tit lactating right now? Is the baby crying? Just squeeze, pump, put it in a can, put it in the fridge, tell the baby to get it. Gentlemen, if you've managed to, in the past half hour or so short, perhaps now would be a best time to get a new pair of underwear while I quickly get a little TP just to clean up this little spillage, and we'll continue. Bear with me a few seconds. I would normally bear with me a few seconds. Here we go, we're back. Normally ideally I would fucking like that, and then somebody would be on that shit, and believe you me, I don't know where they are, they will be dealt with. Not showing her their job, not showing her, because like when spillage happens, you want it to be like seamless. You almost want it to be like, did any spillage even happen? So bear with me a few seconds here. That's twice now. That's two spillages in 2 podcasts. I will find a remedy for this. There must be a solution. I see problems, I create solutions. You are not alone out there. If you're spilling your drink, I want you to know you're not alone. You beautiful, sexy, gorgeous bastards out there, you're not alone. Drinks spill. Mugs are made too wide. Mugs are made way too big, but then it is a good size. Mugs are just, we need anti-gravity mugs. That's what we need. When you're spilling drinks, it just fucking catches it. Why? Anti-gravity mugs, brought to you by yours truly, Sip Sip to the gang. I don't even know what I was saying. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a law going on. There's a law going on, and it doesn't matter. The point is that we're here together, and it's Friday. So I hope wherever you are, you're doing fine and dandy, because I know I did read about we'll get into it. I read 2 different stories, but one that I wanted to cover right now because it just feels appropriate. It got me excited. It's about a man. This could have been your brother. This could have been your dad. This could have been your uncle. This could have been your son. This could be you. If it was a woman, it could have been your mother. Could have been your sister. It could have been your niece. It could have been your aunt. Could have been your grandma. Could have been your girlfriend. Could have been your wife. Could have been your fiance. Could have been. I think I've pretty much checked all the boxes in terms of who it could have been. It could have been anybody, is what I'm trying. It's me. It's you. It's you and me. It's one and the same. A beautiful man lost his left eye, if I'm not mistaken, due to a freak accident involving high voltage power lines. I don't know what he was doing, but there was high voltage power lines involved, and he lost his left eye, son. Maybe he was out there wrangling a bunch of high voltage power lines on a horse, fucking reel him in. I don't know how they wrangle fucking high voltage power lines. Maybe he's a high voltage power line dealer. Maybe there's a local place, an establishment where they deal high voltage power lines, and he's sitting behind a table and he's just dealing them, the high voltage power line to this guy, this lady who wants more high power voltage lines, fucking right there, you get it. And then they're like, we've reached 19 high voltage power lines, would you like to stay or would you like to hit? And then the motherfucker's like, hit me. And then this guy's like, you sure we're at 19 high power voltage high power lines? And the other guy's like, hit me. And then he grabs a high voltage power line, and then there's a malfunction of this high voltage power line, dude, and he loses his left eye. Sad. Could have been anyone, or he could have been working on the power lines. Maybe he's some sort of a electrician. That, sure, I guess, in some sort of bizarro world, in some sort of upside down existence where people are working with high voltage power lines. Or it could have been a fucking realistic high voltage power line establishment. That's what it is. So boys and girls, this guy lost his eye, and we've now made a breakthrough together. You, me. Okay, you weren't there. It was mostly me. I came up with the revolutionary idea of conducting the first ever human to human eye transplant. Hey, did you lose an eye out there? There's hope. Okay, fine, I didn't do the actual surgery. I was overseas. I was on conference calls. I was busy doing other surgeries. Not all I can't attend all the surgeries that are, and you're like, but you're so good at surgeries. It's a fucking curse, I know. But whatever, it's what it is. I'll do as many as I can. But this one happened to be in New York. And this fella got a new eye, and it got me excited, and I'm kind of hard right now, basically, thinking about it, because although it's not working fully, like it's not a fully functional human eye transplant, it's the steps. We're getting closer and closer. The body has accepted the eye thus far. Now, are the nerves going to connect properly? I don't want to get into too much scientific jargon just for the sake of us just shooting the shit and doing it for the shits and the giggles. So let's just keep it whatevs, dude. They connect it, take out an eye, fucking plug it back. It's so simple actually when you think about it, because you take out one eye for whatever reason, you lose it. You take out another one from a donor, an organ donor, who's playing the organ and facilitating body parts. Maybe it's a 2-in-1 family business, the organ donors. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that this beautiful fella is now the opportunity to have an extra eye. And this is that, it got me excited. This is now again, it's happening in so many, I love reading about this kind of stuff because it gives me hope and excitement for about like the positive things that we're doing together in the scientific community and in the global whatever, not just the science, and the human community. Because you lose a body part, whether it's a hand, prosthesis, eyes coming in, kidney, replace it, liver, grow one, heart, baboon heart, transplant, or human, like we're getting there, dude. Little by little is getting there, and it is exciting. It is debatable on both sides. Is it, you know, do you support it? Are you for it? Or is that, or are you against it? Because like in one sense it could be like, man, this is like pushing like ableism, because like we should accept the one-eyed man for who he is, man. But like originally he wasn't the one-eyed man, dude. So originally he was able, but then he got disabled. But not to say that he's disabled, he's fully functioning, dude. I'm not even talking about like behalf of this gentleman. Like there's thousands, millions of other people out there with different, so whatever. It's so, you know, do we you know, if he volunteers, if he wants, if I had the option of maybe potentially finding out whether an eye could be fitted to work on a new body, or rather the same body with a new eye, essentially, maybe I'd opt for it. I don't know. I like to have options. I like to be able to know that I potentially could have an organ donated and use that, as opposed to not having the option. If you lose an eye, you're like, well, there's nothing else we can do. So it's good to have options is all I'm saying. But at one point we are going to get to, man, brain transplants, like just taking your brain, putting it in a new body, dude. Because like, let's say freak accident, somebody gets into an accident, they go brain dead, but the rest of the body is fucking like, it's a gorgeous body. You got this beautiful, and then you're in the hospital, fully functioning brain, your body's fucking garbage. For whatever reason, dude, your body's a vegetable. You could just be, people could grab sticks and just poke. You wouldn't feel a goddamn thing. And it's not for a lack of trying. I don't know what it is, but here's an opportunity. Mine works perfectly fine. A sharp mind, a good mind. Crap bod. Over there, no mind. All the bod. All the bod. It's the best bod ever. It's this fucking, it's like, I don't even know. Female, tit city. Ass, nice. You know, flexible. Yeah, she used to be a gymnast for the Olympics. Doing it. Splits, the folds, the twists, the turns, the Twizzler. fucking all of it. Male, he used to do fucking, what's a good sport for creating a magnificent physique? A curler, no. A ping pong champion, no. Not to say ping pong champions don't have fine balls, but if we're talking like fineness, fucking. And we're talking about dudes at this moment, or yeah, because like the lady, we talked about the nice tits and the fucking nice ass. With the fella, you want a good body? This guy's a fucking, he's a triathlete, dude. He does 3 fucking athletes. He takes 3 athletes at a time and fucking, I wanna try this one. Does this one feel? This one feels good. Right there. This is the second one. Second. No. I want to try this first one. No. Try athletes. 3 athletes every sesh. This guy's fucking doing it right. So you got that, buddy. Do you at least, it'd be nice to know that you have the option. Is that the future? But then I thought about it. I'm like, it is cool. At the same rate, it is that, like, do we start viewing our bodies differently? Because like we are so attached to our bodies, as like, and rightly so. We're thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years of whatever evolution, Earth being round and us being on it, floating midair, all this nice. But we've been like, oh, one body, one mind, one spirit, connected until the future, which is now, dude. Ladies and gents, it is here. And could you potentially start to look at your body as something that, instead of you, it's not you anymore. It is you, but like you look at it, instead of saying like I get this one, because your body, if we were to look at it as like a vehicle, you're like I get this one vehicle. But now this opens up a whole new realm, and this is not new, but like it's starting like the locomotive has left the train station. This ship has sailed. This bicycle is going fast on a downhill. This bicycle is in a Tour de France. The person riding this bicycle is juiced to the gills, and they're wearing a one-piece, and their helmet is weird. It kind of looks like an alien-shaped head once they're kind of fucking crouching right on top of the fucking bicycle, but doing Tour de France. Nonetheless, this bicycle is going fast. The wheels are spinning. There are no pebbles on this street, on this road, on the side of the highway, countryside, wherever Tour de France takes place. I would assume it's somewhere in France. Unless it's just a brand name and it's not even in France, dude. You find out Tour de France is actually just a brand name. It's not even in France. A little bit disappointed. If that were to be the case, who knows? But then again, that might be their thing. That might be like, we're going to create Tour de France and take it elsewhere. It's not even in France. And people are like, yeah, this bicycle competition is dope, dude. It's Tour de France. It's in fucking wherever else but France. Unless it's in France, I don't know. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, it'd be nice to have those options, but it is, again, you'd be thinking about your body in terms of, I don't any longer own this one deal sort of thing. I own it, but then as soon as like body parts after a certain point start deteriorating, like with age or whatever, wear and tear, and at one point you would ultimately, if you reach the ripe old age of 100, 150, whatever, at one point would we be technically able to do brain transplants into younger bodies, 3D printed bodies? Would we even need a body at that point? Man, it's exciting to think about that kind of stuff. I would start small with the eyeballs. I hope that this works. I hope that it goes through. I hope he gets his vision back and starts blinking hard. And yeah, it got me excited. Have you lately experienced an eye transplant, or a arm or a foot or a peen transplant? Did you get a new labia? How does it feel? Do you have sensation down there? Did you get a nipple implant? Did you get a butt cheek implant? How does it, because these are all the different body parts that make up not all of them, of course, but some of them. And it's exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You might be wondering, you got a job, let's say, Segway, skirt, at a cold call center, and you went and did the interview and they said it's a cold call center, and you got the job, you showed up, and first day goes all right, just basic orientation, getting to know the database, the questions we're asking, the research we're conducting, all that jazz, great. Second day, a little bit more orientation, get to know some of the staff, some of the coworkers, some of the managers, great. Third day, you get your own seat, you get your own desk, you get your own little binder with your set of questions and this research studies that you're going to be conducting. And the days continue on going by, a week or two, and it's starting to dawn on you that this cold call center is actually not cold at all, that they falsely advertised, that despite the fact that you showed up to an interview with your heart set on getting a job at a cold call center, this call center is room temp at best, and you try bringing it up to other office workers, managers, upper management, but nobody seems to be bothered by the fact that this place is indeed called a cold call center, yet the temperature inside the room begs to differ. And you're a goddamn professional, because when you signed up, you were like, I am signing up to sit, and you're used to it. You've gone to the North Pole, dude. You've sat in igloos. You've sat beside Eskimos doing the harshest of research in minus 50, 60 degree temperatures, and they told you this is a cold call center. And sure, you were skeptical at first because it's in the city. You're like, how? I just don't want anybody else falling victim to these predatory hiring tactics, essentially. False advertising, hopes of, get to sit on ice, get to work with ice, have a lot of cold air come in at all times because once you're in your element, you bang out numbers, you bang out sets. You look around, no penguins, no polar bears, no polar bear cubs, and they said it's a cold call center. Nobody taking a saw to all the ample amounts of ice that there should be and cutting it into chunks and waiting for some sort of propeller airplane to drop in and pick up some loads of ice to deliver to elsewhere where they don't have the luxury of the cold. You'd like to, while you're conducting business in a cold call center, perhaps remove all your clothing items, and especially towards the end of the night when the shift is about to end, you've been putting in 12 hours straight, but the last few deals need to go through, and you somehow find it being meditative once you've removed all your clothing items, and once your nipples are extremely hard, you can really fucking go to town with those deals at the end of the day. And all you were looking forward to was standing barefoot on nothing but ice, for you to have a seat on the back of your iced out chair to get up and find out that you've left behind a layer of skin. These are the things that you look forward to once you sign up for this gig, but months have now passed by and nobody seems to be bringing anything up, not even the slightest hint of us even lowering the thermostat, and yet they go on pretending that they're a cold call center. Not to mention the fact that they're not even cold when they're on the phone. A lot of times people will say, well, you need to call and conduct research, but be warm and receptive, or be open and be kind and be gentle, be patient with the participants in the study because they're putting in their time, effort. They don't have to do this, but this is called a cold call center. Okay, this isn't some sort of room temp call center or a warm temp call center where you call and be like, how was your day? This is a cold call center. Unless we're doing something else here. Unless you want me to pretend we're in a cold call center, but we're actually in just fucking, just mild temp call center atmospheres. Because like when I do, or when you do rather, because it's not me, but when you do cold call center job, and you want to get there and you call somebody and you're like, I'm such and such calling from such and such, and we're conducting such and such research. Bitch, you got the time to do this research? And they're like, I'm so sorry, I can't be on the phone right now. having a family emergency, and that's when the cold call center training kicks in, and you're like, fuck your emergency, dude. Get on this phone right now, sit down, and we're gonna make the world a better place. No, we're gonna conduct research. No, we're gonna try to do something together for about 25, 30, 45 minutes together. It's not even that big, but nonetheless, the time you spend with me and the time I spend with you on this telephone or cell phone or headphone potentially is fucking time well spent. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Cold, just coming in there, don't worry about it. Lost your house in a fire? Get a new house. Cold. Your pet is being threatened by a alligator that just fucking crawled out of the pond right next to your home. Let your pet learn by gaining strength through taking the alligator head on. Cold, just, oh, I just fell on the ground and broke my foot. I'm sorry, I can't be on the phone. Forget your foot, it'll heal itself. Cold, just, but no, these guys are like all about, so, it's all about the messaging. It's all about the, intent at the end of the day. I guess at least if you're trying to be cool, but like the name is a little bit confusing, and for one, I feel like together we could also put a stop to this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I was just segueing right now. What? I was just reading an article that in South Korea, apparently, a man has been crushed. A man has been crushed in South Korea by a robot. Ladies and gentlemen, it has started. Boys and girls, the time is now. Now's the time. Time moves. No, wait. Time, you can't go back in time. You can't go back in time. Time is not something you wear on a wrist. No, wait. Time is not something you hold in your pocket, in the palm of your hand. Time is not just forget time. Time is that we focus on this beautiful man that got crushed by this robot, this heinous act of hate, savagery. Horrible, horrendous. And where did it happen? Well, where else would it happen other than South Korea? That's where, because apparently South Korea has the highest ratio of robot to human per capita in the world, because South Korea has a problem with babies. South Korea doesn't like babies, that's right. South Korea doesn't like to have babies. South Korea has a certain number of babies, and South Korea is like, no more babies. We're just gonna get together and get old and wrinkly, and we're gonna watch who can shrivel up the fastest or the slowest for the longest. Different levels of just shriveling up. You can have fast shrivel uppers who will just be like, yo, I'm gonna do 50 to 90 in like 10 days, dude, and you see them fucking prune into an old man that'll go on to live another 50 years or another 120 years. It doesn't matter. The point is that they don't like babies, but their population is aging and it's getting fragile, and it's starting to be like, oh man, we should start to have babies. But is it too late? Because the robots are here conducting jobs. Now, this wasn't even a AI program robot. This was just a regular dumb robot that killed a human. Imagine what an AI robot can probably do. Perhaps it can avoid killing humans. But this dumb one who wasn't an AI robot killed a human being. Why? Because it was located in a place, in a factory where it was supposed to pick up boxes and put down boxes. Where? In South Korea. We've already covered that. What happened? A fella walked by, and he was, I'm guessing, grabbed, squeezed, picked up, and then put down hard by a robot and crushed to death, which is crazy. So rest in peace. How can we learn from this? should we start making examples of robots in front of other robots so that they know what's up? Tossing ideas out there, because you don't want one of them to do it and then the other ones watch videos or just like download videos or just get access to the internet, or like the hive mind conducted by some sort of, and that's the thing, you're like, no way robots would hurt people. They're doing it. It has happened before. How do we stop it from, like, I don't think it'll ever stop, they say, but at least, like, I think, when do we start, like, I think we should, because this is just a regular factory robot that's doing this. This isn't your like fast parkour doing jujitsu, flexing, fucking AI generated robot that does, you know, mathematics and flippity flips. And that could easily one day, how do we, man, because that got me to think, like, how do you, if a robot is like, you know, programmed to do something, how does that how does it happen? How does it mistake a human for a box? There have been speculations maybe the human was holding a box and then just grabbed the whole human box contortion and just made it into one as it's picking it up and putting it down, and you just get like fucking crushed into a box and you just, what a way to go, dude. That sucks. What a bummer. So we wouldn't want to have that, but I'm just thinking, yes, do we go ahead and make an example of one of the robots? Should we do that? Or like somehow be like, why can't you mess with one of us? That's what you get. And or something, dude. I'm just putting out ideas, but perhaps that's something that could be avoided with just you know, tampering or like messing around with the program. Maybe you could sit behind a programmer and just tell them to put in some good programs. Be like, yo, next time there's a box, make sure to detect what's behind it. Like maybe if there's a human carrying a box, don't crush zeros and one, don't crush human box package. Like fucking just, but this one just fucking crush the human to death. And it's something to be thinking about, because this is where we're headed. There's going to be more of this. There's going to be more automation coming along the way. We need to think ahead. This opens up a whole lot of room for growth and new opportunities and new jobs and new ventures that people can go and like explore. Like how do we also keep an eye out on these human crushing savage robots, these dirty fucks, which we are gonna grow to love, because once we get used to them doing some of the jobs out there, they ain't no going back, unless we're forced to by some sort of meteor shower that wipes out the entire fucking grid of the planet, and it's back to your fucking sweat of your brow and the grease of your taint, or whatever the saying was. Do you eat what you can plow, and you plow what you eat? So you better be plowing and a horn and a reaping and sowing and a sniffing and a licking and a sucking and a fucking a splitting and a turn around and do a 69 or whatever. Because whatever you eat is whatever you get, and whatever you are is you are what you eat. So if you're walking out there with that puss breath, that doesn't necessarily make you puss, because just because you eat puss doesn't, but then they do say what you do eat does make you who you are. So I guess in order to make you strong, then you need to be taking cack. I think that only works with food. I think we should only leave that to food, because if it was literally everything, then that would be like, man, this guy is just fucking like. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that where does it stop? Where does it begin? It begins with us and it stops with us too. So, but it will never stop, because our beats are connected. Our hearts, that is, our heartbeats are connected. Okay, they're not, but they may be. You never know. We fucking might just sing heartbeats, dude. We might just do that, and everybody's beating on the same beat, dude. Ladies and gents, I love you. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for letting me be a part of yours. This has been another Soso production. We drop in every week moving forward, for the time being, Wednesdays and Fridays. Go ahead and check it out on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe once again on YouTube. Follow me so you can get the actual notification once it drops, and you can watch the full-length videos and just watch it while you're doing everything that's important and meaningful in your life. Spending time with the hubby, play this on the background. Going to the old folks' home to visit your family members who are not getting the opportunity for new body parts because they're born like decades prior to you, me, and whoever else is coming up in the new generations. We have options, dude. So spend some time with them. Maybe don't say that to their face. Maybe just treat them with love and respect. But you know what happens, dude. You know what happens. Just whatever happens, happens. That's the point. Where can you watch it? Anywhere, anytime. Who's it suitable for? Virtually anyone having access to anything, anywhere, anytime, anywhere, whoever. Men, women, young, old, middle-aged. Which class of society? All classes of society. The poorest of the poor. The middle classes of the middlest of middle class people. The highest of the high in terms of financial and monetary status, privilege, lifestyle. After a certain number, you don't even realize what you're spending or what you got coming in and what you got going out. What's money got to do with it? What's money got to do with it? Virtually nothing. So that's exactly what it is. You can enjoy these videos twice a week now, moving forward. And tell a friend so it can grow, because this is an independent production. It is all done by just you and me doing it together. And hopefully we can grow together and do other stuff together as well. And we will. One day at a time, one step at a time. Wherever you're tuning in from, I hope you have a fantastic start to your weekend. Go out there and get it, whatever it is. If it's Lyme disease, go get it. If it's a new dress, go get that new dress. If it's a new baby stroller for your new baby who likes to stroll, get it. Edible panties for your man so he can too become what he eats. Do that. And I will see you guys and gals back here again next week. Love you all. Peace out.